Right, we're back. Just had me tea. It was a bit of a late one tonight, but let's get this. Come off, there you go. Make sure there's nothing broke off this. No, there's not. That's okay. Put the turntable out the way there. Now, get stuck into this. Don't know how this control arm comes off. I've never done this before. This is the service on the GLENBURN AT100, made in Great Britain. I thought this was BS Irish, but it's not. Anyway, let's try and clean some of this muck and gunk and grease off it, because I've got a feeling that's probably what's stopping it. Hey, this could be a challenge, because I've never done one of these GLENBURN decks before. It's the first time, but you know what they say. First time for everything. No point in shying away from it. Just get stuck in. Let's get all this, try and get all this crap out of it. Tell you what, it's full of gunge. Tell you what I'm going to do. Probably end up with all that all over the table and everywhere. But I mean, why did he get it all over where it doesn't need to be? I mean, they must have just thrown it on. Oh no, none of it went on the table, on the desk. That was a relief. Still. Right, let's get a few of these parts off now. Put the top on the isopropyl. There we go. Right, let's start getting a few of these parts off. No time like the present, is there? I've never done one before, so if it all goes tits up, it goes tits up. Let's hope it doesn't. Now let's get the small pliers. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with this little bit of a mechanism here. See how this is held on? This is just held on with a spring and a couple of clips. So I'm going to start. Oh, where's that circlip gone? I'll never find that, so I'll have to find a replacement. Right. Take. Will that spring go on hook? Yeah. Right. I tried a new way of getting the clips off there by using the pliers, but stick to the tried and tested method. There we go. And I need to remember I need to find a circlip. I'll never find that one. I'm even going to bother looking. Right. There's a washer there. And there's another clip there. And the worst thing about this, I don't have the manual for it. There's another washer on the top of that there. It seems to be stuck on. Right, I want to look at the velocity trip mechanism. I can see it all now. Right, and this is plastic and it's going to be brittle as hell. There we go, get that washer off. that's all gummed up there. That's all gummed up. That probably explains why the auto mechanism doesn't work as it should. That's not a nice feeling, and that there has to come off. Let's have a look. How does this go? Right. To get this cycling gear off, that wasn't very tight. You have to remove this centre bearing here. Or at least that's what I think. I'm learning here, folks, just like you are. We're all learning together here because I've never done one of these before. So, if it goes tits up and I fuck it up, I ain't arsed. I've got a backup BSR. Right, so how the fuck are you supposed to get? Oh, hang on. Let's push that little thing in there so it'll smash that when we lift this out. So we need to take this off here, that off there, and we need to get this one off here. Right, I don't even know if this is the right way or the wrong way or what. I ain't got a clue because I've never done one. So, and I already know I've got to find a circlip. I've got plenty of them. There we go. Well, I thought that would have lifted out, but it doesn't. Ooh. I thought that would have lifted out, but all that's done is undone that. Oh, it does lift out. Oops. There's a plastic thing there fell out, ain't got a clue where that goes, so I'm going to be working out where that goes. Oh yeah, I do. That's fell out of. That plastic thing goes in there. Goes in there like that. Is that a cut washer in there? Don't know. You can't just force something when it's plastic. No, it's not. It's not, it's just a washer, but it's stuck. You've got to come out. Well, it doesn't have to come out of that, but it would help if it did. So if I hold this up slightly and just I don't want to fucking move, does it? Oh, yeah, there's a groove in there. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that because I might break something. And see if we can get this. Well, that's got to come off first, which is stupid because you can't get that off. Now that's weird, isn't it? You can't get that off. strange one. But that's... So that's holding that in. That's holding that in. Ooh. Well, it's seized on anyway, so there we go. There we go. That's it. Washer. Now that push through. No, it won't. I need that to come through. So we're going to need the hot air gun. Get that out. I mean, there's a few things in here that are stuck that look like they should move. That's moving now, that. Yeah, I reckon that'll push out. There we go. I don't want to heat it too much because there's plastic in there as well. So. That doesn't want to come out, folks. Well, that's supposed to come out there, but it doesn't want to. Let's put the nut back on the bottom of it. Let's stick the nut back on. Put the washer for it in there. That way we won't lose the washer. Don't need that on for this. Let's put the nut back on. So I want to just tighten this back up. Now I can feel the rest of that turning. See, that's moving. It's got to come out, no matter how you do it, it's got to come out. We seem to be jammed up somewhere. Still not going to come out though. I mean, don't say you've got to take all this fucking lot off and the fucking arm off and everything to get this out. Don't say it's more involved than I want to get into this. Right. So it looks like you have to take the whole fucking lot apart just to get that off. Oops. Looks like you have to take the whole fucking lot out. Oh well. Shit. Let's get into it, folks. Might be a couple of parts this video, but we'll see. Now, these tall arm wires. That goes to the back there. Can that not be lifted out somehow? That's got to come out, that control arm. I'm pretty sure that has to come off. Right. And this has got to be careful because I don't want to break the casting. Just so we can gently manoeuvre it up. Make sure we're not fucking fastened down there anywhere. No, we're not. No. No. Get the get the top one off. That's that one. Now let's see about get a bit of, I'm not putting heat on it, put a bit of oil. This is very thin oil, this, folks. It was originally in a spray can, but I filled this bottle up with it for this purpose. Take that off so we don't end up on the floor. There we go. There you go. And that's how you get them off. Pull the torn arm wire through. Put the torn arm safe out of the way because you don't damage the cartridge. Lift that up. So we can take that off because that's got to come off. Now where's that? Something's just fell. I'll take this off. That in there. Right, put that back down. Now let's have a look at the control arm. Now let's see where the control arm comes out. I think that stays in here actually. I think the control arm stays on because there's no real way. I think that stays on, it just lifts off the mechanism. Yeah. Right. Well, like Elvis Presley said, it's now or never. Let's get the mech out. Really worries me doing this because I don't want to destroy. I want to reuse this turntable because the decks are short. I'm short on decks as it is. So I'm hoping I can get this fucking thing back together and taking the bare minimum off I can afford. So that I can it needs a good cleaning anyway, so I don't know whether we're right to lift that out. Well, still hooked on by something where something's holding us on. It's not the control arm. Something's fucking stopping us. Come on, what's in your way? Oh, that lot's coming down. Control arm's free. So what the fuck's holding you? That's the tone arm. No, there's no screw there. Unless yeah, it's that fucker there. There's a little fucking screw on that has to come off. Ooh, that's going to be some fun. See if we can find a small fucking does that have to come off? Yeah, it does. It does, unfortunately. What a fucker. That does have to come off. And it's fucking awkward. Let's try and find something to fucking get down into there. Where's that fucking little sockets there I've got? Bear with me. I think I found one to do it. I can't stay up too late tonight. Either I've got a customer coming tomorrow. Have a job done. So this has to go into here. And then is that coming up? I don't even know if that's coming out. No. That's the wrong size. Fuck's sake. I thought that was the one. I bet the one I want's fucking missing. Just my fucking luck. I mean, they're all different sizes, these things. That's fucking definitely not it. That's too small, I think. Oh no, that might be the one. It's turning the whole lot. You know, so I don't even think that's fucking coming up. That's fitting round it. Let's try and turn it down. try holding the pliers on like that. Yeah, that doesn't fucking help, does it? So let's try shifting that for a minute. The fucking them on the fucking bottom of that. Hold that fucking still. Fucking loose that bastard. That is awkward. Well, that not all fucking goes down, but this needs to come off. The trouble is, it won't fucking come off. The fuck I won't undo. Ah, there we go. That's either undone or I've broken something. It's moved anyway. Where's my little fucking socket I had a minute ago? There it is. So I'm going to wind it off now with the socket. No. Fuck's sake. It's loose now though. So if I grab that with that and then turn that, it's coming off. I think it is. Yeah. What a pain in the ass that is. There's a bit more to fucking stripping one of these than a BSR. Let's get that little plug out. Well, that'll probably come out anyway. Lift that off there. Right, well, we're still not off. Get that little plug out of there. If it'll fall out to me, it won't do. Right. So what's holding you on, you fucker? I want that little plug out of there, so the little washer out of there. I remember that like that. Is that a clip there? Yeah, it is. I don't see why. Yeah, that doesn't want to come past that. That's strange. That should just come out of there. Unless, of course, it's getting fucking hung up on that washer that's in there. Which could be. Could be getting jammed there. Let's see if we get this washer out. Yeah. It's jamming on that washer that's down there. Yeah, it's jamming on that washer. That washer's gone lopsided and caught on the threads. There we are. Piece of plastic actually. Now this mechanism should drop out. There we have it. Now make sure we've got nothing that can fall off that. We haven't. We can put that out of the way. Put that there. Now we're left with our mech. And that's a lot easier to work on, isn't it, folks? It's damn sight easier to work on. Now let's get the pliers on it. See, like I say, I've never worked on one of these before. I am learning like you are. First time for everything. We still can't get that out. It's seized in. We're still nowhere forward, still nowhere near. That's seized in. You see all the shit that's around it there. Try a bit of oil. See if it will penetrate it. Oh, but that'll take the top off, won't it? So it's going to be a lot easier to clean. Let's see if I can push that through. So you've got to be able to get that pin out. Hang on. Yeah, a friend of mine was telling me he's going to have his colon cleaned. Yeah, I'll tell you what, folks, I'll do mine right now. There we go. Colon cleansed. Now, let's see what I'm going to have to do now. I'm going to have to put the nut back on the fucking bottom. This is a real... And that's fell out, doesn't matter. This is a real bastard. Because you can't. You got to take the fucking... Because this has to come out through the bottom, but it get through there. So I'm going to try and push it. There we go. Right, so now I'll try and pull it. Watch the lose the ball race. There we go, that was all seized up and gummed up to fuck. Now we can separate it all, look. Get all the fucking... I'll deal with that, I'll put all that back together for now, I'll deal with that last. Put that there. Let's take our... Ooh, I hope I know which way their fuckers go back in. Like I say, I've never fucking took one apart before. Well, that goes through that hole there and it's pushed out, which means this one yeah, okay, whatever. Take that wash off so I don't lose it. I don't have a manual on this, but I've got a feeling that this is the tone arm. This pushes the tone arm here, which pushes that forward and pushes onto this, which pushes this out, which means that this has to go in that way, I would think. No. Right, that's that way. But saying that, I'm saying that way. But that could just easily go. No, it can't. because that's the start groove there. Which means that goes there. That's pushed out there by this. You know, there's sometimes when I wish I had a fucking manual for doing these fucking things. And that there's all seized as well, that's got to be freaked off. Right, so this is pushed along by that. And that gear goes here. It goes that way on. That pushes there, which means that this that's how it goes, look. That's how it goes. Right. That's how it goes. That, see? That don't push far enough forward for me though. I mean, I'd like to see that go a bit fucking further. There's nothing broke off it, so it must be right. But that goes in like that. That goes in there. Fucking had the fucker a minute ago, didn't I? So that's in. Yeah, that's right. That's right, that goes down there. And then that goes like that. And this piece here, this wire bar, pushes on that to trip it. But there's not enough fucking thingy there for me, you know. I'd like to have seen that come out a bit further, but you know, obviously not. Obviously not. Anyway, I can mount this on here actually to check it. I think I can. Because this goes on here. This goes on here. Let's put the pivot bar back through. Put the pin back through. There we go. That really needs cleaning. That feels stiff as fuck. But I can work it out how it's supposed to go. So basically, you put that back in there, push that back through. That's as far as it goes for you. Right, and then that's clockwise, that's anti-clockwise. And that's rest. And then when you push that, it's supposed to grip the bottom of the turntable, but that's never going to grip the turntable. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, let me just check something. Yeah, there's a flange on the bottom which has got to be wider. There's a flange on the bottom of the turntable. There's like a groove that sticks out, which has to be wider than the gears. It has to protrude, and it's this piece here that protrudes that just that little bit further than the gears, so that this can hit that and start the cycle, because that hits that, catches it and starts the cycle. Because the turntable goes clockwise, this goes anti-clockwise, which means as the automatic mechanism is operated or the record comes to an end, this is pushed in like so, grips the boss of the turntable here, and then starts the mechanism running. So yeah, so we know where we're at with that. So I'm working this out as I go along, folks. I'm working it out, and as I'm working it out, I'm trying my best to explain it. Now, basically I've just got to, I'm sure I've lost the spring off here. I'm sure there was a fucking spring somewhere. Oh no, it's on the toe now, I'm in it. Yeah. Right, so there's certain things that don't have to come off. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to pause it here because I want to have a fag. And I want to have a fag and a think. And I wish I had a manual for this, but I don't. Right, I'm back, folks, back to the grindstone, as you say. And now what I need to do is clean all this so that everything moves nicely, and re-grease it. Pardon me. I haven't got any degreaser really. Could do with some. Just clean it the best I can. I mean, there's grease all outside of it there. It doesn't need to have grease there or there. Right. Right. Wish I had some cotton buds to look at buying some. Is all that moving freely? It is. Just clean this. Put a little bit of oil on that because I'm sure that's supposed to turn. It might not, but yeah, it is. Put a bit of oil in there. There we go. Yeah, lovely. Let's feed that up nicely. Yeah. Yeah. Oops. So wipe off the excess. Got that nice now, it's nice and free. Just pick that bit of grease out of there. Bit of hard grease. Get it out of there. That's lovely now. I thought I was supposed to turn. What I'm going to do with this, folks, I'm going to go away, I'm going to spray this. I've got some gunk, so I'm going to spray this with gunk and some hot water, see if I can get it all off, because It's a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest. I don't want to strip it down anymore than what it is. I might have to though. Mind you, to get that out, it's just a matter of that clip there, isn't it? And the screw. So yeah, I might as well take that out. Put that there. Lift the velocity lever out. Velocity trip lever, lift that out. Get the screwdriver on this. And this just screws straight into the base plate. There we go. Take that out. And this should just lift out. Oh, there's bearings in that. Look at that, there's a nice little ball race in there. Really well made, isn't it? Right, let's wipe off the excess. So I can really get into there now. Get all this shite out. It's really, really mucky in here. I mean, they really went to town on greasing this. But there, oh shit, what the fuck was that? Something just fell onto the floor. There it is. No, that weren't it. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. I think that's out of it. Just having a look down here. That's not out of it. There's a washer down here. Oh, there's that circlip. There's that clip I lost. It went into that drawer. There's a washer here, is it greasy? Don't know whether that's off it. But someone fell down here. Yeah, that was definitely off it. Now, I'll just crack under here. There we go. Right, this little bent piece of thing here went under here. That went on there. It's the right, so yeah, look, it's the right size. It's the right size for that. Yeah, look at that, that fits perfect. Yeah, so that must have come off there. I'll work it all out, I'm going to have to, Anna. Let's give it all a good clean. Right, let's get some more isopropyl on the cloth. I don't even know if this will go back together. One can only try. Clean that. Clean that there. Clean this. See, I'll re-grease it all, you see. I don't think that washer came off it. That screw didn't either. No, that's not off it. No. That was somewhat modern, that. think this is the same as the Phillips deck. I've got one in there. If it is, I can compare it hopefully. That's for your size selector, I think, yeah. Let's move that over there, there we go. At least I found the circlip I lost. Luckily it pinged around and landed in that drawer. There we go. Pick this bit out of here. Look, that big lump of shit there. There we go. Right. Let's get some fresh grease out. Let's re-grease. And my brushes. Let's get my brushes. My grease. Let's put the top on the isopropyl so we don't have a disaster. Alright. So let's get me use a flat brush like that one, and that way I can paste the grease on, you see. Just get a bit on it. And it'll work its way under. Don't want too much, just enough to do the job. Put a little bit in the top of there, because it had grease in there. So obviously they think it should be greased. And I agree. A bit under that. So you just put a little bit and it works its way in. On there, work its way in, a bit under that, and it'll all work its way in. That's your size selector there. Put a bit here because it's going to be moving bits here, put a bit there. There we go. Velocity trip, clear go a wipe, there we go, and that feeds, shift this out of the way, that velocity trip doesn't go that way. See if I can remember. Doesn't go through there. Now the base of the arm goes through here, which means this goes through there. It either goes that way up or fucking that way up. That way it goes. But it goes on that top there, because it goes on here. No, goes on there. And this let's put some new grease on this. I'm wondering if this washer did come off this. Soon find out. If it did, it should be the same size. I'd have to say yeah. Put a bit of grease in this. Only a little bit. I'm sure this should be greased. There we go. Just a little bit. Yeah, because that goes in that way there, and then balls are not going to run just on there, just on that. They're not going to run on there. Yeah, that's right. That. Yeah. You've got a washer underneath them as well. Here, look. Got a washer there, which is exactly the same. If I can just lift it up and show you, which is actually stuck. But that there is a separate piece. There. And these washers are exactly the same diameter, so that washer did come off there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give these washers a bit of a clean. See, we're all learning here together, folks. It's all about learning. So what we'll do, pop that back on that way up. We'll pop that one back on. Oh, hang on, we'll put the ball bearings in, which go that way. Pop that back on there. Pop that back into there like that. Oh, that feels much better. And this came off here. Yeah, that came off there. Then this goes into that hole there. Hang on, get this right. This goes like that. Then that went into the plate. That goes there. And then that screws down. Make sure it's good and tightly in, as it needs to be. Don't want it loose. There we go. And that goes that way. It must do. Yeah, that definitely goes on there. So, try that. Yeah, that's nice and smooth. There's no play. That's how we want that. Let's pull that off a minute and must remember that it goes back on. Right, now this. Now the velocity spring feeds in that way up. It feeds through that hole there, and it goes onto there, So as the arm moves in, that pushes like that. What would if I put the clip and the washer back on? I think did it have a washer? No, I think it just had a clip. I think it just had a clip. Let me have a look. We've got another washer here. Now let's see if we've got any really thin washers. This either had a very thin washer or a clip. Wasn't that one? Wasn't that one? Weren't that? I'm just checking. It might not have had a washer on there. Oh, it could have been that one. That looks like big enough. No, that's no. Yeah. Could have been that one, but I don't think it was. It wasn't any of them. Wasn't any of them. It wasn't that plastic thing. The only one that fits on there doesn't seem to fit anywhere else. Is that one? Let's see if a clip will fit on there with it. Let's find a clip. Wasn't that one? Sure of it. Sure it wasn't that one. In fact, if I was thin that fucking washer there, it might have fucking come off here, to be honest. That might be off this. No. No, it's not. Just like to make sure. But it doesn't look like they had a washer on there, to be honest, because you can't. Doesn't look like there's enough room for a clip. That's too big for there anyway, so no, it didn't come off there. If it did, we can always come back. But for now, we'll stick a clip on. Most of the clips are the same size. Let's find one. Really is the same size. That's too big. Like it. It's either that one or the next size down. See if that snug sort of fits in snug. Yeah. So I'm pull it off with my hand. I'm happy with that. That one didn't go on there. Come off too easy as well. I think there's a smaller one that went on there. Do we have a smaller one? I mean, you get confused when you start taking stuff off. What's this one here? That's the same size as that one. that's the fucker. That's the one. When that clips on, it'll be nice and tight. So we'll clip that one into there. That's it. See if that's tight. Yeah, that's the one. Let's put this one up here so we don't lose it. Right, I can build most of the mechanism up actually here and put it all back together once it's done. Right, so what we want to look at next, this has to go in as a unit, so I'll need to oil this, pull it out, pull the pin out, there we go. I need to oil that because that is really gummed up. Clean, there's still some isopropyl in the cloth. That's come up clean. Let's take them bits off that so we don't lose them. Take that out. Get this all clean. Clean that. That down there. See if that pin slips into there nice and snug now, nice and free. Yeah, look at that, it drops out, drops in and out now, that like it should. Now, so get a bit of grease on the pin. Only a little bit goes a long way. See, they put grooves in this because you've got to put grease on them. Now, let's move that out of the way. Let's just oil the ball race up. I'd rather put a bit of grease in it. There's no grease in that. Dry as a bone, that's the only part of it that was. Someone squirted oil down it in the past. But these are all supposed to be greased. Supposed to be have grease in them. In my experience. Put a good bit in because I don't want it wearing off. It's got to last another fucking lifetime. There we go. Right, I'm not saying I'm going to get this fucking thing right first time, but we'll have a bloody good go. Might be a couple of tries at this and a bit of pulling my hair out and stuff, but we'll see. Wipe the crap off that so the washer's nice and smooth, so we don't get any rumble, or not as much. Get a bit of isopropyl, clean that washer. Oh, that's better. Yeah. I mean, I always put these backing upside down anyway, so we can wear the other side out. Give it a wipe. Yep, we're okay there. Get this one out. Well, give that one a clean. Yeah, we're coming up trumps, as they say in America. As they say in the White House. Yeah, put that back in. That way up. Put the ball race in. We'll put the rubber O-ring in that's already in. That didn't have to come out. Put that in. Upside down. Yeah, we're right. There we go. Oh, that was nice. Just wipe this, because it'll be re-oiled once it's put together. Put this pin in the bottom. Oh, hang on. Nearly forgot me fucking bits, didn't I, folks? That goes in like that. That's how that works. Yep. Because that bit there just rolls on the top of that. It just sits on the top and just rolls. Like so. At least that's how I think it works. Yeah, leave that lubrication free. Hold the ball race in position. That goes that way. Oops. Yep, that goes that way. It goes through there. Then we put our nut on. There should be a washer with that nut. There it is. Put our nut on, a washer on. Put a nut on. When this was, no, that's not the right nut. That one is. Because that's the thicker one that went on the top. Just tighten that. So I want to try and hold that now, because that is going to be a bit of a mission to tighten. There we go. Hold that there. Whoops, whoops. It start flying out. Now we'll put find that big clip. The biggest out of all of them. I think we had a washer on there as well. Which I think is that one. Yep. Bits. Oh, there's a broken piece of plastic there. Where's that come from? Must have just broken that when I spun it round. I'll have to have a look at that. The game over. There's a piece of broken plastic. Don't know where that's come from. I'm hoping it's not important. I'm hoping it's come from here, because Where's that big clip gone I just had? It's the biggest out of all of them. There it is. Yep, that's the clip back on. Just make sure. Yep. Turns lovely, that. Put the velocity thing back. That's not broke off there, is it? Yeah, I think that's broke off there, that piece of plastic. Looks like it went on there. Looks like it went there. No, it didn't. So where the fuck's that come from? Let's just put this together and see. Because if I've broken it, it's game over. Right, let's put this in. This goes that way, so it can be knocked out when it's needed. And this goes down. Move that over. There we go. So where's that piece of plastic come from? Do you know? I don't even know where that's come from. It's out of here somewhere. It's off here somewhere. Does that come out further than the gears? It doesn't, does it? Right, that rotates. It's pushed out by that. But that doesn't come out far enough. That should come out to about there. Lift this one back out. Let's lift these back out. I've got a feeling. Wherever it is, where's my magnifier? There it is. Let's move them headphones. I'll be back in a minute, folks. Let me just have a look. See if we can work out where that's come from. What I've done, folks, I've had to, this plastic piece here was broke off, and I don't think I did that. I think it was just done, and because the automatic mechanism never worked, and this didn't even reach where it was supposed to when it was together. So what I've done, I've plastic welded it here, and I've reinforced it down there with a bit of super glue, and that should sort the problem out. I'm hoping it does, otherwise it just means I've got to put another deck in it, because basically this pivot goes into this pin goes into here, this goes behind here. Oh no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This goes here. You'd think that that goes in there, but it doesn't. This then goes down to there, and this pushes on here, and there's a little bit of extra play there. There's a little bit of extra play because that's supposed to be springy. And what's happened now with that in the normal position there, with that in the normal position, that now sticks out a little bit further than the tooth on the gear, so that can then grab the boss on the turntable, so that it can start the mechanism up. And the reason why that's probably snapped is because it was seized, and the plastic isn't that good, isn't that good, but that is a lot better, and that does go like that because there's got to be a bit of play in that, and that's what I've done. So I'm going to leave that now to set and see how we get on. If not, then I'll have to, if I can't get away with that, then I will have to put another deck in it. There's no two ways about that. And I'd rather not put another deck in it. I'd rather keep the deck it's got. But if I have to, then, you know, that's it. And I'm going to call this part 2, because I'm going to leave it there because I've got somebody coming in the morning, so I've got to go to bed soon. I'm going to call it a day there, folks. Thanks for watching, and more to come later. Bye for now.